Well, thank you for telling me there's no sound. This is a repeating problem day after day. I'm not checking the sound to be sure that the levels are working. I'm going to have to put a big red flag up for myself so that I get into that. So let me go back to the start here. And the biggest movers is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. About an hour ago, they all blasted off out of nowhere with no warning. And I went and searched around for news to see if there was some important news release must have been in China, because it's way too early in the morning for this to be North American driven. So Bitcoin took off, did a big surge up, and then it's settled back down pretty good here, and the bears are jumping right back onto that. And we can see that Litecoin took off at the very same moment after dipping down. And I gotta say that Litecoin dipped down here below some important technical levels that we had just identified yesterday. And then immediately on the 5-minute bars, we can see how it cracked down and then pulsed right back up as Bitcoin showed that strength. And at the very same moment, Ethereum made a big strong move up. And I was pretty bullish on Ethereum just overall compared to Bitcoin, but this matches the movement very precisely. And then I'm going through all of the markets, just giving it a quick scan, and I don't normally look at the 5-minute bars except for reference, but I was going through giving a quick scan to see which markets also matched Bitcoin's move at this very same time, which ones are ticking in there. And as I went through, I was surprised to see the Bancor network moving exactly at the same minute and showing strength. I was also surprised to see Ravencoin just a minute later showing strength, and it's different. It's not pulling back the same as Bitcoin at the very same moment. And so then I was saying that the purpose for this 5 a.m. stream is to be a shorter stream. So I'm not going to go through the same thing that I did that I do at the 5 p.m. Central Time stream, where I go through all of the markets on Poloniex and we run them through the simple trading plan, as I call it. And it's available if you sign up on intro-to-cryptos.ca. You get a free chapter from my upcoming book that explains the simple trading plan, and it goes along with these daily reviews of these price charts, where we are looking to see where the bull market really is on an average over all of the different cryptos. Now, if you do buy the book on the pre-sale, you can save 40% right now, and you get some bonus perks as well. And so for this morning show, I just want to go over a quick review of what has been moving overnight. I do this for myself, so I may as well record it and put it out there. I know that there's a lot of people watching the cryptos right now, and it'll help me connect with people who are in a different time zone. So as I was saying, the Kyber network has taken off overnight. In the last 24 hours, it's gone up 12%. Steam and Steam dollars showing some movement, but on very light volume. So I don't really care about a small move like that on light volume in these markets. It's not showing a big swath of investor confidence coming in. However, we can see here that Gollum is showing some pretty good strength. And overall, it's been doing really well. Purecoin on very little volume. Library credits on a bit of volume. And then we can see Dogecoin's got a fair bit of volume. And so the ones that are moving up on good volume, those are the ones that are more interesting to me. Factum has got a fair bit of volume that it hasn't had in the recent history. It was a much lighter volume, so we can see there's something going on in this when you're starting to get this kind of volume pickup from 4 or 5 Bitcoin trading a day to now 35 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. Something's going on there, and I like that. So Kyber network, again, it's got 18 Bitcoin, 17 Bitcoin for Gollum. These ones, that's more interesting to me. And as we get down to the smaller number of trades. Even the Bancor network is very little trading volume, though it was really matched to Bitcoin's price movement at the time. So I see there's a few people tuning in on YouTube and over on Twitch as well. Drop me a note in the chat and say hello. Let me know where in the world you are from. If this 5 a.m. call is reaching more of the international audience outside of North America, then I want to answer your questions and make sure that I'm covering things that are interesting to you, as well as following along with my own research. So when I'm looking at the green bars here in our research, these are the markets that we've identified as buy signals according to the simple trading plan. And I love to see GNT was neutral, it turned into an alert, and then it turned into a buy signal, and it's taken off really nicely. So if I zoom out to the 1 month view and out to the 3 month view, we can see where the alert was coming in, where the buy signal came in, and it's still showing strength and on some pretty good trading volume. So I'm liking to see that. I zoom into the 1 day view, and it didn't match Bitcoin. The moment Bitcoin took off, this didn't jump at the very same moment. It's on its own independent path, but showing strength and coming up out of that. That's really nice. I'm going to go sign into Binance over here. And do their little slider, which takes me a while. I never get this right. My mouse isn't accurate enough. Who knows? And then my two-factor authentication. And now we can go over the 24-hour change charts here on Binance as well. So Nebel, IOTX, Go, Cloak, NXS, Kyber Network, Wan Chain, and we're showing 24-hour volume. I was told this is Bitcoin volume. So this exchange gets a lot more trading volume than Poloniex, that's for certain. If this is Bitcoin trading volume, that's huge. So let's go to Binance and take a look at some of these coins. I'm going to drag this over so that I can see both. And go and see NEB Nebel. Definitely showing some strength popping up here. Zoom back out to the 3 month view, and we can see this another wonderful bottom formation. And this makes me bullish for all the markets when I'm seeing so many of them making these 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. We have a descending triangle and then a breakout from that. So hopefully the massive descending triangle in Bitcoin is going to lead to a breakout instead of a breakdown. But this is a great signal shaping up here, and away it goes. So this one, if you're watching all these markets, this one is it's an obvious buying signal. In hindsight, of course, it's always easy to see, but when you've got a specific trading plan that is clear and simple, and it's easy to go back and see where your plan would have been effective. So IOTX, here's another one. It's a pretty new coin, but it made the lows on August 13th, September the 12th. It made higher lows on October the 11th. And those were all key days where Bitcoin came down, Bitcoin came down, Bitcoin came down, and all of the alts responded at the same time. There was a lot of alts that are making these bottom formations with those 3 key days, and the ones that have higher lows in each of those key days are awesome. So this one showed a breakout and a buy signal. It came back and retested the entry point, and then off it's going again. So this is another really obvious trade in hindsight. I'm going to mark this as in my favorites here. And I want to go back and mark Niblio, so that we can come back and watch these to see how they turn up over time, now that they have identified themselves as some of the top movers overnight. And then I'm checking those markets to see their trading pattern. Now I want to mark them as a favorite so that I can go back and watch this unfold over time. Now this one has gone crazy. It's more than doubled in price, and I've seen this on a couple other exchanges as well, taking off like this. So over on Finix, it's taking off well as well. Can you shrink the left tab so we can see the full coin name? Left tab. Over like this. Cuts out a bit of the chart itself. Move this over a bit so we're keeping the price in there. Now we've got the name. Hello again, Khan, and HWD Forever. Thank you for the tip there. That is helpful. And as I'm going along and I get tips like that, it changes the way I set things up, and I'll keep doing that. So the next one that was a top mover, I'll drag this tab back over for a second. A next one that was a top mover, we're going to look through Cloak, NXS, Kyber Network we've looked at, the Golem Network token we've already looked at, and then we'll look at ARN and WAN as we work our way down. I'll drag this out of the way so I can see them both with this on a different monitor. And we're going to NXS. These are new ones for me because I go through everything on Poloniex, but I haven't, wow. This one would have been hard to trade. With that massive candle to the downside, I would step back from this market. It would kick me out for sure. Especially since it had the lows in August, it has the low in September, and on this low in October the 9th or 10th, it just spiked way down, crazy. This is the opposite of the popcorn trading strategy. So that's a killer. This one takes me out. I couldn't have traded it, and even if it's pumping afterwards, I just have to shrug my shoulders and say I couldn't trade that one. It kicked me out. So WAN, let's take a look at whatever this one is. Okay, so we're looking at the long-term chart, and this one looks great actually, and it's still not broken out far enough to have missed it. Some of these things, when they take off and they do the big breakout, I can't trade them then because they're outside of my trading plan. But to catch these that are inside the chart formation just before they take off is great. And look at the trading volume, this green candle here, this green area part of the chart here. And now we have more great volume coming in. We're seeing spikes of volume, spikes of buy volume, spikes and spikes of buy volume, one spike of sell volume, another little smaller spike of sell volume, but each time the volume is spiked, it is people accumulating. So this one is fantastic. It's a one for certain that I'm marking here, and I'll come back to watch this one. Bitcoin Diamond. BDC. BCD. Okay, dyslexic. BCD. Ouch. That took a major sell-off, and because of that major sell-off, it may come back up from here, but that's a major one. That's a killer for me because there's our August lows, and then in the September, before the Bitcoin drop of all the other altcoins, here on the 12th of September, this one dropped earlier on the 4th, 5th, 6th, and so this is out of my range as well, even though it's making some buys going on here, and it's got some pre-pump candles. Now when we get rid of that stuff, it's not a market that would attract me. It's just not giving as nice a formation as so many others, and so I wouldn't trade it myself. It kicks itself out of my... Okay, the withdrawals were closed and now they are made back open again. Okay, so news like that may change if I really believe in the project and something was just temporarily wrong, maybe. Crypto Trader Vader hanging out for some clams analysis. Let's go take a look at clams. Poloniex, clam. It has been marked as a fail in the spreadsheet for a long time. Can we see the names here? No, I'll bring this over just a bit more. So here's clam coin, and it's been marked as a fail, 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 fail all the way since I started doing this in September 28th. It just keeps failing, and I have some of it, so I don't like the fail in clam coin, that's for sure. Let's go back to the chart here and get it to load up. But even though it's a fail, if I zoom in, I don't like this massive candle to the downside, but it rejected that pretty much, and it's been hovering here for a bit. I'm hoping that it pops back up, because over the really long-term charts, we can see that it's right back to inception prices. And it did a massive pump here, but the reason it did this massive move in 2015 and the middle of 2015, and that's it, you know, it didn't do a great move through the major bull market of 2017, and it didn't do much at all December, January 2018. It's just been laying flat here as a forgotten coin pretty much. But the reason it did well in the beginning is because it was used on a gambling site, Just Dice, that was really popular. And Just Dice sold out of all their stuff. They stopped using it as their main currency, I understand. And that just dropped off all the use cases. There was pretty good volume of trading here in 2017, but it's just not a formation, even though I have some of it and I like it, and it's not a formation that can give me any confidence, and so I really shouldn't be holding that coin. I should be letting it go and taking that little bit of money that I do have there and putting it into something else. And I also have the suspicion that since it is a coin with less use case, that it's probably going to be removed from Poloniex margin trading when Poloniex restricts margin trading from US citizens. I'm just guessing. I don't have any news on that. But the chart is really disappointing. Now it's still used there, eh? On Just Dice. But yeah, it is disappointing. And just languishing. It's just not doing anything. Another disappointing one is MadeSafe coin. Although it's given a better chart formation this last little bit here, it is also back to inception prices. Here, look at back to 2015, or is this 2014? And it made a move. And then in 2015, it's the biggest move ever. And then through the huge bull market of 2017, it did okay. It pulled back up and then came down. And then through December, January 2018, where most everything else did a big move, this came up a little bit and then down it went again. And so it's showing a very disappointing channel as well. And I still believe in the project overall. So it's another one. This has actually been my worst trading market of all, because I believed in it and I was trading it against my own trading signals. When this top was breaking here, I held on to it. When this consolidation pattern came in more recently, if I go into the 3-month view, right along in here, I recognized this top formation. I saw the formation. I thought, geez, that's not looking good. And I held it. So I've been a bag holder in MadeSafe coin. I got to say this is probably the worst market I've traded because I believe in the project. I think that when this network goes live, this is going to go up 10 times. And I've been saying this for 2 years and not making any good profits off this. It's a market that I could have, as a better trader, better at doing my own system, I would have seen this top formation. I could have sold out of my position and gone short and made a ton of money if I would have traded it properly as a trader rather than believing in the project as an investor. So I believe technical analysis more than I believe in the project itself, because there are times where the project just isn't ready. The market knows that, and if you pay attention to the technical analysis, you just got to respect it and do what it's telling you. So that's kind of an aside from the main purpose of today, is to go over the big movers and to check them. So Stratus, Burst, Storage, and Zcash. Let's take a quick look at those because I want to look at the big fails too, because if there are fails that are significant, that's going to tell us something about the market. So my short-term memory doesn't let me keep that in my mind. I got to have it in the other screen so I can look at it. So Stratus is the biggest loser on Poloniex, but down 5.8%. But you can see that relative to the recent price moves and where it is in this breakout pattern, that's not significant at all, that 5% drop back. Burst is down 3.8%, and it's down near historical lows here as well. Not near inception lows, it's a little higher, but it's down to old lows for sure, and laying flat on this on its bottom right now. Not looking good. So a breakdown below these levels here is going to make it into a fail in the charts. Right now it's still on good technical levels, holding on there. Storage is another one that is a bigger move down. It was down 3.6%, but again, it's not so bad given the breakout pattern it has here. I was looking at this triangle formation yesterday, and saying that a break either way is going to give us an indicator which way it's going, because this is a flag of some sort, and a perfect triangle like that is hard to say. Is it a bull flag or a bear flag? But this is still okay. It's got, in my trading thinking, I would let it come back and retest these support and resistance levels in here without sweating at all. And that's normal and natural for some profit taking to happen, prices to come back down. It's been languishing for so long that some of the people who are mining it through providing hard drive space probably want to take profit on any kind of pop up. So I would not worry about this one. So there's a few of them that are coming back, and they're not worrying price levels. Here Zcash is down 2.7% overnight on 36 Bitcoin trading volume, and it's still within good technical levels. Not a problem at all with this little move. So that's good to see, is to go through a few of these and to see that the pullback on these prices isn't into significant ranges. Now I'll do a couple more and then I'll sign off. I want to do this as a brief, quick flash through everything, and then at 5 p.m. I'll do the longer deep dive into what's going on. So if I drag this over just briefly, we can see that BCPT, Block Mason Credit Protocol, is down 11%. QKC and Ncash are down. Let's take a look at those charts to see if it's a significant change in the trend of things. So if I go to Binance and I go to BCPT, hello XRP from Africa. My sound was a mess right at the very beginning of the presentation again, and thankfully I had a heads up on that, because I checked the slider, I checked my mic that it wasn't muted, but there's another setting that was set as muted. Okay, here's another one that's making a bottom formation breakout. It's not quite a classic 1, 2, 3 as nice as it could be, but it's a nice consolidation, a nice breakout. And here's the 1, 2, 3 if we're getting technical with it, and it pumped up above it, and then it broke up higher. So if I'm looking at the 3-month view of this, there's the moving average crossover inside this little 1, 2, 3. So if you would traded it from this 1, 2, 3, you're still way ahead, it's still way up, and this pullback is fine. If you would have traded the larger 1, 2, 3 in this consolidation, this pullback is still fine. And we got some big green candles of accumulation going on in this market. I would expect that this is not done its move at all yet. This is just the beginning of it. So there's another market, as we take a quick look at it, that the pullback and the 11% drop since yesterday is not significant. QKC, not significant in terms of the overall trend of the coin, and not significant in the overall trend of all the markets. So here's another. There's their break of the downtrend. We have a little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. We have a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here with the moving average crossover on the 12-hour bars. And now prices are coming back a bit, but again, it's not really significant. I would let the market have room to come back to test the number 2 point here. The 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and up. I would let it have the room to come back. And I would actually expect this pullback to the 50% level of the recent move. And so this is, again, another one that's all good, not a worry in the pullback that we're seeing here. Another one I'll take a quick look at here is Key. So here's another great looking chart, even though it doesn't seem to have as much history. We've got the bottoms on August 13th, September the 12th, higher lows on October the 11th when we had Bitcoin pushing down. Then it's given us very nice support and resistance level. We are looking at the 12-hour bar, so the moving average crossed. That's a teaser. Crossed again, crossed back in. And so this is still also looking good. I would probably expect it may come back, and it almost did, to be retesting these levels. So if we zoom in, so it's doing the breakout and it's coming back to retest these levels. That's all well and good. And look at these 2 big green candles of buying pressure coming in, and not very much selling, not very much volume on the selling part. So again, these are pre-pump candles, pre-pump volume in my books. And here again, look at these big green candles of buying volume. So love it. This is also one that I'm going to put a star on, so we can come back to look at Key and figure out more about it later, but I like that. Encash. I just happened to transfer a whole bunch of dust on Binance, a lot of little coins into dust that were dust into BNB, and then I use that BNB to buy Encash. So I have a few dollars of Encash, and I bought them at a good time. I'm still up a little bit of profit on this, and I'll sit back and wait on it. I like the chart. I like how cheap it was for how many Satoshi I could buy coins with, and so I bought into this one. And I'll hold it. Not a problem right now. Now, if you have any favorites that are going down or big over the last 24 hours, let me know, and I'll go over those charts quickly, and then I'll wrap it up for today. Stratus Key Storm was one of the ones that was a big mover going up, and now it's fluctuating around one of the 5%. But most of these, as from what I'm seeing, the bull market, I'm still feeling bullish about the altcoins, even though, oh, I messed this up, so I can't drag it now. There we go. Well, I don't have my chart set up here very nicely. All right, so just a few people watching here. Great to have you guys along, and we'll see over time if there is traction at this time of the day for people to be watching this kind of chart review stuff live. Going to back to BitMEX. Let's zoom into the 5-minute bars and see what's going on with this recent surge. I like it. I like it especially since we can see that Bitcoin, Litecoin is showing even more strength there, and Ethereum all moved at exactly the same moment. There's something underlying in the market. There was some news, something came out that has caused tens of millions of dollars of money to move into these markets all at the same time. It can't be coincidence. And so that's it for now. That's my quick scan. I want to keep this one under 30 minutes. Just go through and see if there is something significant gone in overnight. And I'll sign off for now. I appreciate you guys being here. And best of luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading. Thanks again for stopping in. And tomorrow, I will triple check all 3 sound setting things that allow me to be muted. Bye for now.